All right, moving on with Late Night with Savages on Co-op Radio, CJSF, CITR, and Redgate TV. We have our next special guest. His name is Keats Morton, and he is a relative of mine. I'm very proud to introduce you to him. Hello, Keats. How are you today?
Hi, Gunargie. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Yeah.
Did you know that you don't have to be Indian to be savage?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the truth as of now. And you don't have to be savage to be Indian. It works both ways for all of us.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Awesome. So you're of Irish descent, but also Scottish on your dad's side.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's always a fun time of year, and we all celebrate with either beer or no beer, and just kind of
green beer if you're going to have beer at all, though.
That's such a strange tradition, but
right? Yeah, green potatoes. I remember that tradition.
Well, if the potatoes are green, chances are it's
yeah.
they're a little underripe.
Well, it's okay to have green eggs, though,
this is true.
On St. Patrick's Day, right? Only on St. Patrick's Day, though.
Yeah. Gotta love food dye.
As I was growing up, we used to go to what would be like our dollar store back then, and we would buy these little shamrocks that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish," and people would just put an O in front of their names. Remember that? So you would be Keats O'Morton.
Yes.
Right?
Well, my middle name is O'Sullivan, so
that's right.
There we go, yeah.
That's my last name.
There you go, yeah.
There you go, right? And so people have been kissing me all year long just for being Irish.
Yeah.
Right? You got to know what that's like.
It's a good luck thing, I guess.
It's a good luck thing. That's why I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Right? How do you celebrate? How does the Morton family celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I mean, for most of us, it's pretty low key. I mean, we maybe in the before times, as many people are starting to call the pre-COVID era.
Yeah.
We would maybe go out to an Irish pub, kind of have a few pints. The Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
One of my favorite pubs is the St. James Well. Down in Port Moody.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out.
Really good little spot. And yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite beers is Harp. It's kind of one of those typical Irish beers, but also Guinness is one of my favorite types.
Oh, is it?
So,
oh, good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
There used to be a bar in the downtown east side. No word of a lie. It was called the O'Sullivan's Place.
Really?
Yeah. The Pig and Whistle, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, the O'Sullivan's Place. That's her.
Never heard of it.
There used to be an Irish VPD officer that used to walk the beat on the downtown east side, and he was fierce, and people feared him, but at the same time, they also loved him and respected him. And our grandfather, Eugene O'Sullivan, was like one of the head honchos on the old CPR railboats.
Yep.
Wasn't he a sergeant or a lieutenant or?
Yeah, I think he
How
was.
Does that work?
He had a pretty high rank from what I understood. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I'll look more into my Irish ancestry and get back to you all on this a little later on in the show. But for now, I really just want to hear you play.
Okay,
Tell us, when did you start playing the fiddle? I
started playing the fiddle in, I guess grade 9, which would put me at about 17 years old. And it was just an instrument that I listened to at a very young age that I just gravitated to. I started playing the piano when I was 6, but, and I'm still, playing the piano, but the fiddle really kind of grabbed me in a way. And when I started listening to fiddle tunes from Ireland and eventually from Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia, it really it felt like there was a groove that was filled in my brain that I thought, this is my kind of music. And it was kind of a big awakening for me to really be into this music. And maybe it was just listening to people like Stan Rogers, on a CD, or just listening to people like Ashley McIsaac, and just being exposed to that music encouraged me to go to the East Coast and take in some live fiddle music, and it was very it felt like I was coming home in a way. It was like that the East Coast is a home that I didn't know I had until I went over there, and I kind of fell in love with the place a little bit. But now I'm looking at my fiddle. I'm like, this is the instrument that I really want to try to be good at, and take, as sometimes I like to call it, fiddle boot camp, because I'm hoping to take the Celtic Studies program at Cape Breton University in the next few years. So that's something that is one of my ambitions, and being able to play at gigs and doing a whole bunch of workshops, and maybe one of these days having a fiddle podcast, at some point, and being able to kind of talk about this instrument. And
so in a sense, this fiddle, has taken you out of your shell, because I've always known you as somebody who's really shy and introverted over the years, right? And it took this fiddle to bring you out of your shell.
Because the thing that I found out with fiddle music, and even classical violin music, is that you can really feel the feeling behind the violin, and depending on the player, you can really feel their emotions in their playing. Yeah. And I can listen to a fiddler and take a wild guess to see who it is just by listening to a recording, and I might be able to get it right, because it's because there's a certain style that people play, and
it would depend on where they are from geographically as well, right?
Yep. Ireland has a very different style. Cape Breton has a very different style. Cape Breton Island music tends to be more linked to Scottish fiddling, but they have their own flair over there, and even regionally on that island, there's different, like slight variations. Could be on the west coast of the island and have just a few different stylistic qualities to it that the east side of the island doesn't have. So, and vice versa, right? So, it was such an awesome experience being out there and seeing the fall colors and seeing the trees. Yeah, seeing the trees turn this gorgeous orange color. And
it's similar to powwow music, right? When powwow drummers are out there banging on the drum, it's like, that's powwow. But when West Coast do it, it's like this. Right?
Yeah.
So we all have our own ways about us. It doesn't really matter what the instrument is.
Yes. Yeah.
True, I guess. Right?
Yeah, indeed. It's so cool seeing the different regions play their own style, and even different like genres of fiddling. I mean, you can have country, bluegrass, Celtic, rock. Sometimes that's starting to get popular.
How about heavy metal? Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I've seen some, or I've listened to some songs that are pretty heavy metal based, and they've got a fiddler in there. So
hip hop, electronic. I've heard it. Beatbox. On the beatbox a few times, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a very versatile instrument.
Well, that's like your baby. I've been watching you on Facebook for a few years, and it's only been in the last year that you've been picking up this fiddle, and it seems to go everywhere with you. There's not a selfie on Facebook when you don't have your fiddle.
This is the fiddle that got me started too, and it started with renting to own it from Long and McQuaid and or Tom Lee, can't remember, but it just stuck with me, and it's not the best sounding, but it's not the worst sounding either. And I think that depending on how you play it can make it sound better. And it's gotten me to where I am with feeling comfortable playing fiddle tunes, which the biggest key with playing fiddle tunes is being as relaxed as you can, because you just like, even if you're playing really fast, you just have to let your fingers do the work and try to get as much notes out there as you can, basically, and just kind of hope for the best. And
and feel that vibe.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just dying to see you in action.
So I'm going to play a tune called the Swallowtail Jig, because it's an Irish tune and St. Patrick's Day. So here it goes.
That is Keats Morton in the house at Co-op Radio on Late Night with Savages, CITR, CJSF, and Redgate TV.
This is Keats Morton, and you can find me on Facebook at Keats Morton, or you can also find me on Instagram at Keats Morton, first name and last name. And you can also find me on YouTube at Keats94's Geocaching Adventures, where I have my own geocaching channel. If people are familiar with it, they can go check it out and learn a bit more about geocaching.
Okay. Keats Morton, thank you so much for joining us, cousin. It's been a pleasure, and we will be hearing and seeing more of you.
Awesome.
We will be following you on Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
Gail Casta, Halakasa.